Willie D Live.
What's up, family? A Jacksonville, Florida teacher has been arrested for encouraging students to fight one another. I ain't got no problem with that. Backstory. A substitute teacher was arrested in Jacksonville Saturday and has been charged with child abuse and 4 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, according to her arrest report. Janine White's arrest report said she actively encouraged students to beat up another child and also assaulted the same child. First Coast YMCA confirmed in a statement that the incident happened at a YMCA Tiger Academy on Bagley Road. A spokesperson said White was terminated after an internal investigation. According to police records, an officer responded to a local school on February 12 regarding a reported child abuse incident. They spoke to witnesses who told them White had incited 4 students to attack the victim. According to the investigation, White actively encouraged students to engage in physical altercations. After the fights, she allegedly grabbed a student and pulled him with such force that he hit his head on a desk, worsening his injuries. The report said White had initially asked the student to join a small group, but when he refused, she became frustrated and asked the class, "Who in here can beat him up?" That's when JSO said 4 students raised their hands and White called on them to fight the victim while she watched. Then the students hit the victim multiple times on his head and body. Afterward, White pushed him, causing him to hit his head on a desk, JSO said. White then called for assistance and 2 other teachers came into the classroom. According to JSO, she told them the students needed behavior intervention, but failed to mention the fights or the victim hitting his head. When teachers became aware, White was immediately terminated and escorted from the school. According to JSO, teachers showed police photos of the victim's injuries, which included a small laceration on and behind his ear, as well as bruises on and around his ear. One student told police that he would not have fought the victim, but the teacher told him to do it. You're a substitute teacher. What are you doing wasting everybody's time putting kids in smaller groups? It ain't like you're going to be able to see the task all the way through. You're a substitute teacher. You're going to be gone by the next day or 2. Sit there, read your book, get on social media, check your DMs, post a new photo on your OnlyFans, and let the kids have it as long as they're not disrupting anything, as long as nobody is getting out of control, just leave them alone. You're a substitute teacher, AKA babysitter, monitor. That's all you got to do. White will be arraigned March 25th. First Coast YMCA did issue a statement, but it is such standard BS, I will forego reading it. This woman just started her own fight club in the classroom. Now, I know some people say, yeah, now that's the type of substitute teacher I want to have. She doing God's work. Yeah, until she have somebody to jump your child. Okay, this kid was out of pocket. Okay, he refused to get into a smaller group. I don't think I've ever heard of that in my life, a kid refusing to drop down into a smaller group for the purpose of research or studying or whatever they're doing, right? What happened, substitute teacher? What happened with giving a kid a command, they refuse the command, and you tell them to leave your classroom, or you go and get you some help via a resource officer or the assistant principal or a principal. What happened to that? See, I don't understand how this woman lived to be 57 years old and work in education and think that she can get kids to jump other kids and it would be cool. I get it if you like a favorite teacher and a child is messing with you and some other kid is like, nah, you're not going to mess with Miss Washington. You're not going to do her like that. Then they jump on you, but it ain't like you called the shot. She's shot calling. So I get it, fam. Yeah. A lot of these kids are bad. They are bad. But as teachers, you don't have the luxury to behave like a child. Just like as a parent, you don't get to ever behave like a child when you're dealing with your child, because then the roles will get confusing. You've seen it. Parents behaving like kids and the kids behave like the adults, and there's zero respect for the parent. That's what happens. Zero respect for the parent, and actually the parent has no respect for the child in the first place because they did not give them the proper information they needed to navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. The teacher absolutely should have been reprimanded, and she was. She should have been arrested, and she was. But now it's time for the conviction. Lock her up. Lock her up. Lock that uncivilized mud up. No more talk.